Here we are, Game 7. I'm having some technical difficulties with the camera, so we'll see how this goes. We're playing Game 7 of the 2001 World Series between the Arizona Diamondbacks and the New York Yankees. The pitching matchups today are Roger Clemens, he's a B pitcher, and Kurt Schilling, who is also a B. So it should be a pretty good game. Let's get started. For the Yankees, you're going to see Derek Jeter, Paul O'Neill, and Bernie Williams are going to bat this inning. And let's get it going. And that's a 51. A 51 on Jeter's card is an 8. An 8 against a B pitcher is going to be a fly out to center field. So that's one down. 64 on Paul O'Neill's card is a 13, which is a strikeout. And Bernie Williams, a 62, is a 13. Strikeout number 2 for Schilling. 3 up, 3 down. End of the first inning. End of the top of the first inning, and no score. For the Diamondbacks, we'll have Womack, Counsell, and Luis Gonzalez, their big power hitter. Hit 57 home runs. It's a 46, and a 46 on Womack's card is a 29. A 29 is going to be a strikeout. It's usually a ground out, but for a pitcher with an X, which Clemens has, it's going to be a strikeout. Counsell, Craig Counsell, 36. It's going to be a 14, and that's a walk. Gonzalez, 31 and 9 with a runner on first. You can see that right there. With a runner on first is going to be a single, an infield single. So you have runners on first and second. And Matt Williams is the batter. And that's a 53, which is a 19, with runners on first and second. A 19 is going to be a two-base error on Scott Brocious, the third baseman. So he messes that one up. And it's going to be Counsell is going to come around to score. Luis Gonzalez is going to go to third. And you're going to have Williams stop at second. So it's a two-base error on Scott Brocious at third base. And Steve Finley's up. And that's going to be a 54, which is a 32. 32 with runners on second and third. Is going to be a fly out. F scores. Actually, no, it's a strikeout because it has an X and Clemens has an X. So it's a strikeout. It's a second strikeout. And Danny Batista, 56 is a 13, and that's another strikeout. So he strikes out the side, but on one hit and one walk and one error, the Diamondbacks come up with a run. And the Yankees trail it 1-0 going into the top of the second. And in the top of the second, we're going to see Tino Martinez. 23 is a ground ball to second base. Counsell over to first, one away. Jorge Posada, 44, is an 8. An 8 on a B pitcher is a fly out to center. And Shane Spencer, 43, Schilling has an X, so that's going to be a strikeout. 3 up and 3 down. So he's retired 6 in a row. And we go to the bottom of the second. Mark Grace, Damian Miller, and Randy Johnson. And Curt Schilling. Mark Grace, 62, strikeout. So walk 45 is a 14, which is a walk for Damian Miller. He's a slow runner, but he won't be doing too much. So we're going to get Schilling to bunt. A 28. Let's look at the chart. See what it is here. With a runner on first, a bunt. It's a successful sacrifice to the pitcher and to the second baseman covering. So 2 out. Miller's on second, and he's going to try to score on a single or a double. And it's a 64, which is a strikeout for Womack. 5th strikeout for Clemens. And that's the end of the second inning. We're going to the 3rd inning. Alfonso Soriano, 43, 29. 29 is a strikeout. 51 is a 9 for Scott Brocious, and that's going to be a single. Roger Clemens is going to sacrifice. It's a 9, and that's going to be a successful sacrifice. So there you go. Runner to second, and Derek Jeter's the batter. And it's a 51. 51 on Jeter's card is an 8. An 8 with a runner on second. We look at the chart. Under a beat pitcher is a ground ball to the third base. And that's the end of the top of the 3rd inning. The Yanks got 1 hit, but no runs. And now for the Diamondbacks, we have Counsell, Gonzalez, and Williams. It's a 45 on Counsell is a 14. That's going to be a walk, so he's on first. Luis Gonzalez, 64, which is a 40, with a runner on first. It's a fielder's choice to the first baseman, and first base throws it over to shortstop, and they get the fielder's choice, 3-6. So Luis Gonzalez is on first with 1 out. And it's Matt Williams, and that's a hard hit ball to the shortstop. Flips to Soriano at second, back to first, double play. 6-4-3, double play. And the Yanks are out of the inning. So that's the end of 3. We've played 3 here. And the score right now is 1-0 Diamondbacks going to the top of the 4th. Paul O'Neill will be facing Curt Schilling. 34 is a fly ball, center field. It's a 31 on O'Neill's card. Bernie Williams. And that's going to be a 14, which is a walk. Bernie's on at first. Tino Martinez. He had a good season. He had 34 home runs. He batted .280, had 113 RBIs in 154 games in the year 2001. And it's a 42, which is a strikeout. 5th strikeout for Schilling in this game. And Posada, 38 for Bernie Williams. A 38 is going to be a stolen base for Williams. So it's a strike on Posada. Actually, it's a ball on Posada, and it's a stolen base. On Williams gets the steal, and Posada's still batting. And that's a 42, which is a strikeout. 6 strikeout, and the end of that inning. No runs, no hits. There was a walk and a stolen base. They left a man on second. And we go down to the bottom of the 4th with Steve Finley, Danny Bautista, and Mark Grace. Facing Roger the Rocket Clemens. 51 for Finley is a single. He's got some speed as well. He's fast on his card. Bautista, a 44, is a 7 against a B pitcher. That's a single, and the runner goes to third. So they start off the inning with 2 hits, and they got 2 base runners. Runners on first and third. Bottom of the 4th, Mark Grace, a 24, which is a 31, with runners on first and third, a 31. And that's going to be a fly out to center field. Not deep enough to score any runs. So Finley holds at third. Damian Miller, it's a 25, which is an 8 against a B pitcher. First and third is a single to right. 1 runner scores, other to third. So that's an RBI single for Damian Miller. And you have first and third with 1 out, and Kurt Schilling is going to be the batter. And that's a 65. On Schilling's card, it's a 35. A 35 is a foul out to the second baseman on the right field side. So there's 2 away, runners on first and third. And Tony Womack is the batter. It's a 52, which is a 27. And the 27 is a ground ball to third base over to first. And that's 3 away. But the Diamondbacks score their second run of the game on 3 hits. And the score now is Diamondbacks 2, Yankees nothing, going on to the top of the 5th inning. We're moving along in this game. Shane Spencer is up. And a 25 is an 8, which is a fly ball to center field. Soriano is a strikeout with a 56. His card says 13, and that's a strikeout. And you have Scott Brocious. And that's a 23, which is a ground ball second base over to first. And that's 3 up, 3 down in the top of the 5th inning. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Craig Counsell's up against Roger Clemens, a 45. He walks. He's walked 3 times in a row in this game. Luis Gonzalez, always dangerous, strikes out. And that's Clemens' 6th strikeout of this game. Matt Williams, excellent power numbers. 275, 16 home runs, 65 RBIs in only 100 games. And that's a 33, which on his card is a 0. A 0 makes you roll again for the second column. And that 22 is going to be a 5. And based on the old rules, a 5 on a second column isn't a home run. So it's going to be counted I believe it's counted as a double. Second column 5s are not home runs. Based on the old rules, I do not know and do not have time to go through the new rules. But those are the rules I remember. Second column 5s are not home runs. So we're going to make it a double. And if Counsell is an F, he's going to score. And he is. So he's going to come around to score. So that's an RBI double for Williams. And that's the 3rd run of the game for the Diamondbacks. Finley at 25 is a 10 with a runner on second. It's a ground ball, third base. And the batter holds a second. And Danny Batista's up. 24 is a 13. So, at the end of 5 innings, there's going to be a 3-0 lead. Diamondbacks. In this inning, they had a walk and a double to score another run. And we go to the top of the 6th inning. And we have Derek Jeter. Actually, we have Roger Clemens, who's going to bat. 46 is a strikeout. It's 8 strikeouts for Schilling. Derek Jeter. It's a 45 is a 14. It's a walk for Jeter. Paul O'Neill. It's a 51, which is a 9, and that against the B pitcher is going to be a single. An infield single. So we've got something going here. First and second. Bernie Williams up. 1 out in the inning. And that's a 51, which is an 8. With runners on first and second. Against the B pitcher is a ground ball to third base. And the runners both advance. So now you have second and third. Tying run at the plate, and Tino Martinez. He hit 34 home runs, 113 RBIs, and batted .280. So he had a tremendous year. And that's a fly ball to right field, but that's going to be caught. And that's going to be the 3rd out of the inning. So that's the end of the top of the 6th inning. They left 2 runners on base, had 1 hit. And we go to the bottom of the 6th, where we're going to see Grace Miller and Curt Schilling. It's a 44, it's a single, it's a 7. And that's a single for Grace. Damian Miller, it's a 51, which is a 9. And that's going to be an infield single. So you got first and second now. Curt Schilling is going to bat. He's going to bunt. He's going to sacrifice. Let's see. 12. And that's not going to be any good. He's going to pop it up, and the pitcher's going to get to it, and he's going to throw over to first base, and they're going to double off the catcher, Damian Miller, at first base. So it's going to be a 1-1-3, or a 1-3 double play, and Grace holds at second base. So Tony Womack is going to be the batter, and it's a 61, which is a 39, with a runner on second. 39 with a runner on second is going to be an out stealing, but I usually have a standing rule that slow runners are not taking off. So he's on base there. He's holding. That's a strike. And that's the 32, which is going to be a ground ball to the second baseman, Soriano. Soriano over to first, and that's the 3rd out of the inning. So they had 2 hits, but no runs in the bottom of the 6th. And now we go to the top of the 7th inning. And it looks like the Yanks are slowly but surely running out of time. We've got Posada, Spencer, and Soriano. Still 3-0. Diamondbacks, and Posada's going to walk. And then we have Shane Spencer. And that's a 56. It's a pop-up to the shortstop. Womack calls for it, and that's 1 away. We got Alfonso Soriano, 24, strikes out, and that's the 9th strikeout for Schilling. And we're going to go Scott Brocious. And Scott Brocious gets a hold of one here. That's going to be a gapper for sure. And that's going to be a double to left center. And Posada's going to score. Actually, you know, they're going to hold Posada up at third. Play it safe. And we have a pitcher up, so this is decision time. But the Yankees have a pretty good bullpen, so they're probably going to look onto the bench and see who they have there. We have Justice with a 241 batting average and Knobloch with a 250 batting average. We need somebody that can get a hit right here. And we don't really have Randy Velarde, who's our utility infielder. He has about a 280 average, so he's gonna come in for Clemens and he's gonna bat. I hate to use that utility infielder in the seventh inning, but I don't think we have much of a choice here, down 3 runs. So let's see what happens here. Kurt Schilling. And that's going to be a 52, a 27 on his card with second and third. A 27 with second and third is going to be a ground ball to third over to first, and that's going to be it. So Randy Velarde grounds out and write him in. Velarde for Clemens in the 7th. And we're going to have a new pitcher. And we're going to bring in bottom of the 7th. We are going to bring Whitisick. And Whitisick is coming in there. And he's a B pitcher with an X and Y. We're going to color in the areas that he's going to be pitching in. And it's easy to basically know what each relief pitcher did and how many he brought in. And it tells you a lot about the game just by looking at the color sometimes. So we colored in 3 boxes. He should go to at least 3 batters. And we're going to write him in. And here goes. He's going to face really the heart of the lineup. Counsell, Gonzalez, Williams, and Finley are coming up. 65, 35. And the 35 is a foul out to the catcher. Posada grabs that behind home plate. Luis Gonzalez, 45, is going to be a 14. It's a walk. Williams is up. And that ball is deep, and that's gone. 2-run shot. Matt Williams. 5-0. Diamondbacks. Here in the desert. Not looking good for the Yankees. Steve Finley. Strikeout. And now 2 outs, and Danny Batista, 26, is a fly ball right field. So there was 1 hit and a walk, but 2 runs to make it 5 zip in the top of the 8th inning. Diamondbacks ahead. So we have Jeter. We have the top of the lineup coming up. We have Jeter, O'Neill, and Bernie Williams. 19. And that's going to be a error on Matt Williams. Just couldn't make that throw accurate. And the runner on first on an error by Matt Williams. E5. And you have Paul O'Neill. And that's a 23, which is a 26, which is going to be a fielder's choice. So Paul O'Neill is on first with 1 out, and Bernie Williams. And that's going to be a 33, which is a 0 on his card, so he's going into the double columns now. And a 65 is a single, and the pitcher's grade does not affect, once you get into the double columns, the pitcher's grade doesn't affect the result. So you're going to have O'Neill going to third, and you're going to have Williams on first with a single. The Yankees have a little something brewing here. First and third, 1 out. Tino Martinez. And that's going to be a 27 with first and third. 27 with first and third is going to be a double play ball. 5-4-3 double play. Oh, that's actually first. No, first and third is going to be a ground ball. A ground ball to third, over to first, runner to second. So it's going to be second and third and 2 outs now. Misread that. And the runner on third holds. And Jorge Posada. And that's going to be a 62, which is a 38. A 38 with runners on second and third now. A little bit different. A 38 is going to be a strikeout. Catcher drops third, strike, batter out at first, 2-3. So it's a strikeout, and that's going to be the 10th strikeout for Schilling. And in that inning, there was no Yankee runs on 1 hit. And we go to the bottom of the 8th. So the Yankees are going to have 3 more outs. And it's going to be Grace, Mark Grace, 44 is going to be a single. And that's going to be it for Whitisick. We're going to pull him. We're going to bring in Mike Stanton. And Stanton's going to be green. Whitisick was blue. Filling in those colors, you can see the green pencil. And I basically fill in the boxes that he's pitching. And Mike Stanton is an A. He had a really good season for the Yankees. He had a 2.58 ERA. He pitched 80 innings. And he's going to come in to try to limit any more damage. Yanks are already down 5-0 here in the bottom of the 8th. So we have Miller coming up. That's going to be a 18 with a runner on first. And that's going to be to Jeter. And Jeter's going to drop the ball. And that's going to put runners on first and second with nobody out. Curt Schilling is going to stay in the game, and he's going to bat. He's going to sacrifice. First and second, 65 is a 35. It's going to be a foul out to the catcher. So he fails. And Womack, 65, and that's a 35 on the card. A 35 with first and second is going to be a foul out again to the catcher. And Craig Counsell with 2 outs and runners on first and second. 36 is a 14. Stanton has a Z. And a Z it's only 2 balls. So it modifies the walk result. You have Counsell with another roll. 26 is a 29. And a 29 is a ground ball back to the pitcher over to first, and that's the 3rd out. So they get out of that with no runs scored. And there was no runs but one hit in that inning. And we're going to go to the top of the 9th. And it's going to be Shane Spencer, Alfonso Soriano, and you'll probably see a pinch hitter for the pitcher Stanton. Well, here it is. 41 is a 28 ground ball to Womack. Womack over to Grace. 1 away. Soriano. 64 is a strikeout, 11th strikeout for Schilling. And Scott Brocious. 61 is a 30 fly ball left field, and that's all she wrote. The Diamondbacks win the 2001 World Series replay by a score of 5-0. Game 7 is 5-0. A shutout for Curt Schilling. A 1-2-3-4 hitter, 11 strikeouts. A dominant outing for Curt Schilling. And the Diamondbacks are now world champs. And that's all she wrote. So it was a very interesting series in that the Yankees at one point were down 3-0. They won 3 in a row, and they just did not have it. There was no offense. The bats did not show up in this Game 7 of the 2001 World Series between the Arizona Diamondbacks and the New York Yankees in the desert. I hope you enjoyed the game, and thanks a lot. Take care now.